Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So Hare Krishna, dear Prabhujis, dear devotees. So we were reading the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, contents of the Gita summarized, and we read till 25th verse in our last session. So the 26th verse is another very beautiful verse. Lord Shri Krishna, he is continuing. So Lord Shri Krishna, he says, Atha chayanam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam sochitum arhasi. अथ चैनम नित्य जातम नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. अथ चैनम नित्य जातम नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. So another very beautiful verse. If, however, cha, also, enam, this soul, nityajatam, always born, nityam, forever, va, either, manyase, so think, mritam, dead, tathapi, still, tvam, you, mahabaho, O mighty armed one, na, never, enam, about the soul, sochitum, to lament, arhasi, deserve. If, however, you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies, atha cha enam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam. If, however, you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies, still you have no reason to lament, O mighty armed. Tathapi tvam mahabaho, mighty armed. Nainam sochitum arhasi, you have no reason to lament. So Swami Shrila Prabhupada, he explains in the purport, there is always a class of philosophers almost akin to the Buddhists who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. When Lord Shri Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it appears that such philosophers existed and they were known as Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas, Lokayatik and Vaibhashik. These philosophers maintained that the life symptoms or soul takes place at a certain mature condition of material combination. The modern material scientist and materialist philosophers also think similarly. According to them, the body is a combination of physical elements, and at a certain stage the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemical elements. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. Currently, many pseudo religions, now becoming fashionable in America, are also adhering to this philosophy, as well as to the nihilistic, non-devotional Buddhist sects. Even if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of the soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause for lamentation. No one laments the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty. On the other hand, in modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. According to the Vaibhashika philosophy, the so-called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deterioration of the body. So in any case, whether Arjuna accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is an atomic soul or whether he did not believe in the existence of the soul, he had no reason to lament. According to this theory, since there are so many living entities generating out of matter every moment and so many of them are being vanquished every moment, there is no need to grieve for such an incidence. However, since he was not risking rebirth of the soul, Arjuna had no reason to be afraid of being affected with sinful reactions due to his killing his grandfather and teacher. But at the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty armed, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhashikas, which leaves aside the Vedic wisdom. As a Kshatriya, Arjuna belonged to the Vedic culture and it behooved him to continue to follow its principles. So, another very beautiful verse. Till 25th verse, Lord Shri Krishna, he was explaining so much about the soul, so much about the properties and nature of the soul, the spirit soul now. And in the 25th verse, we saw that he requested Arjunji, Tasmadevam viditvenam nanu sochitum arhasi. After knowing this, after knowing so much about the soul, viditva enam, after understanding so much about the soul, you should not lament for the body. You should not grieve for the body. So after describing so much about the soul, now Lord Shri Krishna, he is saying to Arjuna that Atha chayanam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam. If however you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies, if you do not accept my opinion, of course that is not opinion, that is a fact which Lord Shri Krishna is telling to Arjunji, but still he is giving Arjunji freedom. So that is the magnanimous nature of the Supreme Lord, that he gives freedom to all his part and parcels. Like a kind father, Swami Shrila Prabhupada always explain. This whole creation belongs to the Supreme Lord. If some of the soul, they don't want to respect Father, every individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Mamai Vamsha, Mamai Va Ansha, Ji Bhuta. And Lord Shri Krishna will explain, and it is explained in the scriptures also, the Paramatma is actually the Supreme Father. So if some of the children, if they don't want to accept or they don't want to be with the father, so father gives, the kind father, he gives opportunity. So Lord Shri Krishna, he has given opportunity because living entity want to be in ignorance. So Lord has given opportunity, and this material world is being given. Okay, you do not. So that is the magnanimous quality, like Swami Shrila Prabhupada always explain, that being a kind father, being magnanimous towards every living entity, and Lord Shri Krishna, he gives freedom, free will to every living entity. So he knows that he has explained so much about the soul, but of course Arjunji, Lord Shri Krishna, he addressed Arjunji as Mahabaho, means he was a knower of the truth. He was not a fool. Swami Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport also. At the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty aunt, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhashikas. So Swami Srila Prabhupada, he begins, there is always a class of philosophers. There is always, in all the ages, even in the Satyuga, philosophers who do not believed in the existence of the soul, because soul cannot be proven materially. Because soul cannot be seen, soul cannot be experienced by material senses, material mind, intelligence, or one cannot practically understand soul by all material knowledge. So, Swami Shrila Prabhupada, he begins, there is always a class of philosophers, almost akin to the Buddhist, who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. Who do not believe in the separate existence of soul beyond the body. And during the time of Lord Shri Krishna, in Dwapar Yuga, when Lord Shri Krishna was speaking this philosophy, at that time also Swami Srila Prabhupada he is mentioning in the purport that Lokayatik and Vaibhashik, even such kind of philosophers, they existed during the time of Lord Shri Krishna also. When he was present personally, when the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna was present on this earth, personally at that time also these philosophers, they existed. And in all the ages, Satyuga also, Ridam Kritava Ghritam Pribet, for who has seen the next life? Take that, and because ghee or clarified butter is very, very much good for the health, for the body, so very, very body conscious people living in the bodily concept of life. And if you give them good reasons, so they are also ready to counteract by their material logic and reasoning. So, Rinam Kritva Ghritam Pivet Yavet Jivet Sukham Jiv Sukha, till you live happily. Doesn't matter if you want to take debt, do not worry, because who has seen the next life? So they do not believe in the existence. So Lokayatik and Vaibhashik, so they existed during the time of Lord Shri Krishna also. And they do not believe in the separate existence or the existence of the soul beyond the body, because Vaibhashik, as Swami Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, Vaibhashik, they believe, okay, there is soul, but it ends with the body. When the body is finished, the soul is also finished. According to the Vaibhashik philosophy, the so-called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deterioration of the body. When the body is finished, then the soul is finished, and there are Lokayatik and there are other philosophers who believe that life symptoms are developed at a mature stage of some chemical combinations, vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates, when they come together and a perfect union or a mature combination, that then automatically that life symptoms are developed in the material body. So modern, Swami Srila Prabhupada says, modern materialist scientist who only deals in matter. So there are so many scientists at the present age in Kali Yuga. They deal in, so that's why Swami Srila Prabhupada is writing materialist scientists and materialist philosophers. The modern material scientist and materialist philosophers also think similarly. So that's why there are so many theories in Kali Yuga, because there is no information about the spirit soul. There is no information about the spirit soul, there is no information about the supreme soul, and people do not go for studying Vedic literature to understand the science of soul and super soul, and they mainly deal in matter. Or they rely on the knowledge which is perceived directly through the senses or by experiments and observations. So the knowledge which one can get through senses and through one's mind and intellect, through one's material mind, intellect. So people, they completely rely on that knowledge in this age, and that's why these philosophies, chemical evolution theory, of course these theories cannot be proven. Hence far they haven't proved all these theories practically. Swami Shrila Prabhupada, he always challenged that I will give you what all chemicals you want and you bring back life symptoms in a dead body. So of course these theories cannot be proven in that way, but still these theories are there. We all have read them in our schools. Chemical evolution theory, and then their Big Bang theory. Everything has evolved from nothing. There was shunya, voidism. So that's why Swami Shrila Prabhupada is saying nihilistic. Currently many pseudo religions now becoming fashionable in America are also adhering to this philosophy, as well as to the nihilistic non-devotional Buddhist sect. Nihilistic. Everything has emerged from null and void, and everything, in the end, everything will get converted into null and void, shunya. Everything has emerged from shunya and everything will get converted back into shunya. And you are not accountable. Do whatever you want to do. Do as you like. Eat, drink, be merry, or there is, your actions are not accountable. Nihilistic. They totally reject religious beliefs. Nihilistic philosophers, that's why Swami Srila Prabhupada is writing them non-devotional. And Buddhist sect, Swami Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, because Lord Buddha, it is mentioned in the scriptures, it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned in the Bhavishya Puran and other Vedic literatures. Because in the Kali Yuga, these people, nihilistic, they completely reject religion and religious beliefs. So they engage into abominable actions of killing and eating animals indiscriminately. They say, who has seen? Nobody. You will not, your actions are not accountable. Nobody. Because people want to eat meat. They are enjoying the taste for satisfaction of their taste buds. So they are cheated by their own mind. Mind, senses and intelligence are the places where actually lust, anger, greed, they sits. Lord Shri Krishna will explain in the forthcoming chapters, and it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam also and other Vedic literatures. These are the places where lust, anger, greed, one's real enemies. Lust, anger, greed are one's real enemies. We do not know our real enemies are sitting inside, and they sits on senses, they sits on mind, they sits on intelligence and false ego. And one is helplessly, one acts according to the directions of one's enemies, lust, anger, greed, and one degrades the soul. It leads to the degradation of the real living entity. Instead of getting promoted, one degrades himself. So once for sense gratification, because people want to engage in meat eating, because people want to act irreligiously, so their own mind and intelligence, it cheats them, and they give various arguments and logic. They even give argument, okay, in the Vedas also it is written that you can, Bali, the Bali Pratha is there, and religious people, they were also allowed to eat meat. So all such counter arguments they will give, but they will reject that you will be punished for your sinful activities. So in order to act irreligiously, in order to act sinfully, they give all such kinds of arguments, and they do not believe in the existence of soul beyond the body. Lokayatik and Vaibhashik. And many such pseudo religions now becoming fashionable in America. So Lord Shri Krishna, when people started eating meat indiscriminately and killing animals, so he appeared. Lord had to appear because he is the protector of the religion. Lord is so kind, he loves every living entity, even though if they are averse to him, but he loves every living entity. And when there is an unnecessary fight among one's sons, children, or part and parcel, then father, it's the duty of the father. So Lord Shri Krishna, he appeared as Lord Buddha, and he taught them, he preached them the philosophy. He appeared as a saint. Lord appeared as a saint, and he preached the philosophy of ahimsa or non-violence. Ahimsa paramo dharma. With a lot of emotions, he explained that when there are so many fruits and vegetables and grains available, then why we should kill others just for filling our bellies and satisfying our tongue or taste buds. So many people, they accepted, and that's how Lord Shri Krishna, he saved, because he is yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham, because he is the protector of the religion. So Lord Shri Krishna, he appeared as, so Lord Buddha is one of the avatara of the Supreme Lord, and it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures, Bhavishya Puran and other Vedic literatures. So that is so people, because people want to act irreligiously, sinfully, so they completely reject the existence of the soul. And these kind of philosophers, they existed always in all the ages. So Swami Shrila Prabhupada, he is mentioning, he is explaining wonderfully, and he is saying that even if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, then there would still have been no cause for lamentation. And if Arjunji, of course, Arjunji is a knower of the truth, and he did not, he can never believe in such vague philosophies. But still, Swami Shrila Prabhupada, if he is saying, and Lord Shri Krishna, he is also proposing, still you have no reason to lament. Nanam sochitum arhasi. Even if you believe that, okay, there is, if however you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies. So if Arjunji, Swami Srila Prabhupada is saying, if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of the soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause for lamentation. No one laments the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty. So body is made up of chemicals, and life symptoms, they develop on their own, or if the soul also finishes with the body, then what is the use of lamenting in executing one's duty? In the execution of his duty, Arjunji will be killing his teachers and grandfather, but who is going to see? Because there is no soul, the soul will also get finished with the body. And when Arjunji will die, that time his soul will also, so his actions will not be accountable, and he will not, Swami Srila Prabhupada here is writing, since he was not risking his rebirth of the soul, Arjuna had no reason to be afraid of being affected by sinful reactions. So in both the cases, if Arjunji or anybody, here Swami Shrila Prabhupada is taking the name of Arjunji. So for anybody, if somebody says no, body is made up of only chemicals, then also there is no cause of lamentation, because okay, some chemicals are getting wasted, and Swami Srila Prabhupada is saying in the modern warfare, on the other hand, in modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. So in the Kali Yuga we have seen Second World War. Swami Srila Prabhupada is talking about First World War, Second World War. So many people died just to gain victory over the enemy. People were fighting, and so many people in the world, they died, and they wasted tons of chemicals in the form of bodies, if they believe that okay, body is only made up of chemicals, and then so many weapons, arms and armaments, weapons, so many chemicals. Swami Srila Prabhupada is saying, on the other hand, in the modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. So in both the cases, if Arjunji believed, or if anybody, it's not Arjunji, if he believes that okay, the body is made up of chemicals, then one day you will also get over, and then others will also get over. So just do your duty, whatever duty comes in your way. So being Kshatriya, it was his duty, Arjunji's duty, to protect the religion and to punish the miscreants. So there was no cause of lamentation. Or if Arjunji believed, Swami Srila Prabhupada says, since there are so many living entities generating out of the matter every moment, if he believed in Vaibhashika philosophy, so many living entities are generating out of matter every moment, and so many of them are being vanquished every moment. So there is no need to grieve for such an incidence, because it is happening perpetually. Living entities are taking birth, and then they are getting died, they are dying, they are getting vanquished. So this is going on. So what is the use of again lamenting over that incidence? They took birth, grandfather Bhishma and Drona, they took birth, and now they are dying, and one day you will also die. So if some duty is there in front of you, you should execute. Lord Shri Krishna, he is proposing in that way. Still you have no reason to lament. So after explaining so much about the soul, now Lord Shri Krishna, because he knew very well, of course he knows very well that Arjunji is not among those vague or those philosophers who are not in complete knowledge. Arjunji is a knower of the truth. So Lord Shri Krishna, he knows very well. But he is giving this argument just for the others, so that others may not give up their duties and degrade themselves. By execution of the duties as per the scriptures, one upgrade himself. So Lord Shri Krishna, he is the well-wisher of entire humanity, and for that reason Lord Shri Krishna is saying that one should never run away, or one should execute his duty in all the circumstances, because by execution of the duty one promote himself. And being a kind father, even if the sons, they do not want to believe in truth, but still he want to benefit everybody. So Bhagavad Gita is, that's why it is meant for the benefit of the whole humanity. So Lord Shri Krishna, in one way, one should never give up duty, and all that Lord Shri Krishna will explain in the coming verses. And he knows very well, that's why he addressed Arjunji as Mahabaho, because Arjunji is a Kshatriya and he belonged to Vedic culture. Arjunji as Mahabahu, mighty armed, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhashikas, which leave aside the Vedic wisdom. So Arjunji was a believer of the Vedas, he was a believer of God, and not only a believer, Lord Shri Krishna, he himself, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he himself is supporting Arjunji and is on the side of the Arjunji. That proves that he was very, very religious and very, very advanced personality. So, Lord Shri Krishna, that's why, but still Lord Shri Krishna is addressing or instructing others through Arjunji, those who do not want to believe in the existence of the soul, those who do not want to accept the existence of soul beyond the body, and they want to completely live in the bodily concept of life, but still if they execute their duties, then they will be promoted in their next life. They will be promoted to the next stage. They will upgrade themselves. They will not degrade themselves. So, very wonderful verse and very wonderful purport. Swami Shrila Prabhupada very wonderfully he explained so many nice transcendental concepts. So, atacha enam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam sochitum arhasi. You have no reason to lament. If, however, you think that the soul is perpetually born and always dies, still you have no reason to lament, O mighty armed Mahabaho. So, with this, I would like to stop here. We'll take up another verse in our next session, and through the purports and translations of Swami Shrila Prabhupada and remembering his teachings, we'll discuss more. Till then, Hare Krishna. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajacharya Shrotra Shat Shri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charnar Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shrila Prabhupada Ji Ki Jai. All glories to Krishna Kripa Murti, His Divine Grace Abhay Charnar Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shrila Prabhupada. All glories to Bhagavad Gita, all glories to Lord Shri Krishna, all glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Holy Name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.